Hello guys, welcome to another Fatal Rose Creations tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to rip a sim in Blender. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go in game, create a family, one sim, however many, save that family, put them on a lot, and then save the game, and then exit. And remember the household name of the family. So once you do that, you're then going to open up the TS4 Ripper. I'll provide the link for the download website. So you're going to go here. Usually you can get it from the creator Pancake, but for some reason these links are not working for me. And the website seems to be gone. So I don't know if that's the case. If you want to try, this version does work better. But if you can't get that to work just like I can't, just go to download and click this right here. You'll get a zip file, extract them into a folder. Then when you open up that folder, there will be a file at the bottom that says application. I'm just gonna double click that, open it up. It might take a little while. Another thing you're gonna need while that's loading, another thing you're gonna need for this process is Blender. I use Blender 3.2, so literally just Google Blender. Well, I'll provide the link. Click download Blender, click this, it'll download. Or if you're like me with a laptop with only one hard drive and you need multiple versions of Blender, you can go to the Microsoft Store and look up Blender, and this version is the latest version, and you can download it there. That way you can have multiple versions. You can only have one version of Blender on one hard drive if you download it from the website, but I have 3 versions downloaded because I downloaded one from the website and 2 versions from here, so just so you know. So once it's open, you're gonna click select and go to your last save file because you just saved. Some reason for me, household names, usually they show in the parentheses, but lately they're not showing since the update. When they update the game, it also affects this software, so yeah. But I remember the last name is Heath, and if you do it by by household name, then they should all be grouped together. So you're just gonna click on the sim's name, and then your settings. So this right here won't say single mesh and texture, it'll say something else at first. Change it to single mesh and texture. Make sure these look like this. You can either do standard or high quality. I haven't seen that it makes much of a difference, so I just do standard. All this should look like this. Right here you can change the occult. If your sim has an occult, you can change the outfit they're wearing, how pregnant they are. This should look like this, and then all good. This version of TS4 Ripper can take a long time. That's why the Pancake version is better, but like I said, for some reason on my end the website looks dead, so I don't know. So you're just gonna wait for this to load. So once you have your sim, you can use these things to look around, make sure nothing's funky, if you want. And once your settings look like that, you're just gonna click DAE and then save it to wherever you're gonna save it. I've actually already saved this sim, but you would just name it and then click save. And then if you want to do another sim, of course you do that again. And then you're gonna pull up Blender 3.2. Alright, so once you have Blender 3.2 opened, you just delete this square. Go to File, Import, Collada, and then go to wherever you saved that sim, and you should see a .dae, and double click their name. To move around, this is clicking your roll wheel, this is rolling your roll wheel, and if you hold shift and click your roll wheel, that's pretty much the basics to moving in this program. So first we're going to click this little circle right here, and then we're going to go here till the double arrow pops up and right click and click vertical split and drag over another box. Then over here in this nether window, we're going to change this like railroad thing to shader editor. And then you can just drag this over. In this box over here, drop down your rig and click your sim's name. This should drop or pop up over here. Zoom in with your roll wheel. Change specular to 0. This box right here, grab the color and drop it on specular. Zoom out, press Shift A, go to shader, and then mix shader. Put it in between these two. Drag this one down to the bottom one and drag this alpha over to the FAC. Then press Shift A again, transparent BSDF, and drag this one to the middle one. And then you see the glass textures, which is eyelashes and usually hair, still kind of look funky. Go to this red circle, click it, scroll down and change blend mode to alpha hashed. And you see it fixed it. Now if we want to do a second sim, just click this right here, click the name rig, and we're just going to move it over. Go to File, Import Collada. And we'll bring in another sim. And we're just going to do the same thing. Click their name under rig. Specular to 0. Color to specular. Shift A. Mixed shader. BSDF down 1. Alpha to FAC. Shift A. Transparent BSDF. Take BSDF to the middle shader. Now up here, change this shader viewpoint to nonlinear animation. Now over on this side, drop down your first sim and click pose. Then press I and click lock or location, rotation, and scale. Lock, rot, scale. Then press this while this is still orange. Right click and delete strips. Now we're going to go to Sims 4 Studio. Find a pose pack that's not a cache trait pack. It should be an in-game pack that you would use with Andrew Pose Player. Go to Clips and then pick a pose. Then you click Export, save it wherever you want and name it. Back in Blender, go to File, Append, and we're going to go to that pose that you just saved. And click Append, and then click Action, and double click the name. Then go to Add Action Strip, click on the name. Gonna do the same thing for the other sim. Click Pose. Oh, make sure before you do your second sim, just click over here so this bar's not orange. So back on your second sim, click Pose, I, Lock, Rot, and Scale. Drop this down. Delete this orange strip. If you left the first one orange, it would delete the pose that your first sim is doing, so we don't want that. File, Append, and you're gonna pick another pose. Action. And click on the name of it. Add action strip. Click the other pose. Now you see this one's a group one. I can just click rig and drag this on over. And now they're together. Of course it looks a little funky because she has swords in her hands, but it doesn't matter. So now we don't really need this anymore, so we can drag it back over. Now we want a little background. Press Shift A, Mesh, Plane. And click this scale right here and just make that bigger. Shift A, mesh plane. Click this, change this top one to 90. Oh, wrong one. This top one, the rotation, to 90. Use the arrows to bring it back some, and then scale to make it bigger. If you go here, you can change the colors. You just click new, and then I like to change principal BSDF to glossy, and then we'll do aqua, and then I changed GX to sharp. And then same thing for this one, glossy, sharp, and you can do the same color, a different color. If you click this little printer thing, you can change the size of your camera. We have a light already. Just grab this. You can change it. If you want to change the color or intensity of the light, you can do it right here. Say if we wanted some green lighting, make it a little different. You see this little arrow right here? I'm going to click that and go to view, and then click this box right here, camera to view. Then just bring those drop downs back. And so that way when I click camera, when I'm moving, the camera moves with me instead of manually changing the camera. So position the camera how you want. Now you can if you click this camera here, you can take the picture in Eevee, but I think it looks better in cycles, especially because of the background. So like if I was to change the perspective, this is why I like the glossy, because it gives kind of the mirror background. And then I'm just gonna change my max samples. I usually do like 100, but for purpose of tutorial, or I usually do like 1,000, but for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm just gonna make it 100. The more samples, the better quality, but the longer it takes. So once you have that, just click render and render image. A second box will pop up, and so you see right here it says a minute to render. I have a pretty high-speed computer that also changes how long it'll take for the image to render. Once the top looks like this, it's done. And you just click image, save as, and then save it to wherever you want to.